Hey guys, hi, I'm Amrit Raj, your master teacher here at Vedantu. So I'm continuing with the biology sprint series and we have reached the next chapter, which is heredity and evolution. Okay guys, we have covered life processes. In that I have discussed, not comprehensively, but yeah, the important topics and important questions which might come. Then second class mein I have discussed about control and coordination. Okay, just please go and have a look at them. And like these sessions are enriched. Okay, I guess it's pretty much I have covered, almost concentrated all the content, and it's pretty enriching content. If you just make notes of them, you should be able to perform well in your biology. Okay, then I have covered how two organisms reproduce also, and this is my next chapter, that is heredity and evolution. Okay, just please, as I tell you, keep a notebook and pen handy, okay, and just note down whatever is possible. And I received your wonderful comments, so I am trying to incorporate as many diagrams as possible in my lectures. Okay, and by the end, in the last session, I'll try to cover all the doubts which I feel I have left out. Okay, so please don't worry that I'm not answering to your doubts. Okay, I'll cover them. Most of them I'll try to cover in between the sessions only. If not, in the end, the last session, that is natural resources and environment, I'll try to put as many, or solve as many doubts as possible in that last session. Okay, chalo. Now today's session is heredity and evolution. Okay, people, this is a very nice, interesting chapter. Yeah, it's a very interesting chapter. So today let me just discuss with you the concept first. Okay, forget about this question. I'll just explain you the concept once. Okay, what the entire chapter is about. Okay, then I think you should be able to understand it in a better way. Yeah, so first of all, what is heredity? We are studying heredity and evolution. We should know what is heredity. What is it, beta? Yes, in this we study heredity is passing on of character from parents to the next progeny. What is heredity? Passing of characters. Okay, passing of characters from parents to the next generation. That is what we study in heredity. Many of us look like our parents. We have many habits of our parents. Why? Because we have got certain characteristics, certain traits from our parents or our great grandparents also. That is heredity. When we study such characters which have been transferred from our generations, we are still talking about heredity. Certain diseases you would be knowing that they are heredity in nature. Means if your great grandparent had a disease, it will be passed on to the next generations. Okay, so how does this heredity help us? Heredity helps us to identify whether the disease is male related or female related. So what can we do? We can address that diseases. Okay, so we can modify their genes, or we can do something so that the next generation is not diseased. Okay, so that is why we need to understand heredity, right? So that is then next thing is, next thing is evolution. What is evolution, people? Yes, evolution is process of transformation of simpler life form into complex life forms. Okay, what happens over here? Evolution में simple life form gets converted, or in some constant time, what happens over here is it gets transformed to complex form. Simple form gets transformed to complex form. That is evolution. What happens over there in evolution? Simple form gets transformed to complex form. This doesn't take place in 1 or 2 years. It takes place over centuries. Over centuries, small variation get accumulated and a new complex organism is produced. That is evolution. Okay, why do we need to study evolution, people? Because evolution helps us to understand how our ancestors were. Apes, we study about apes. We have evolved from apes, right? We had limited mental capacity, and now look at us. We are designing spacecrafts. Hai na? So how did this evolution take place? What were the organisms? Dinosaurs were there, right? You would have seen Jurassic Parks and all. Dinosaurs were there earlier. Hai na? Hai na? We find their fossils. So we got to know, yeah, they were dinosaurs, and we have, evolved to such a, species which has been existing till now. Okay, so that is why we need to study evolution. Okay, this is the entire chapter. Now next. Yeah. Now people, what is DNA? DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. What is DNA? Deoxyribonucleic acid. Now what is it basically? It is a map. What is it? It is like a map of what? Of human being. It's a map of human being. When you are making a building, what do you need? You need a map. Similarly, whenever you are making a human being, what do you need? You need a map. What is the map called as? DNA. Right? Are you able to follow? Now people tell me, what is a gene? Sorry. What is a gene? Gene is a segment of a DNA. What is a gene? Gene is a segment of a DNA which codes for a particular character. For example, say whenever you are making a building, you will make a living room. You have a dining room ka map. Similarly, genes, whenever you are making a human being, you need to have a map of ears, his height, his hair type, there will be map. So that is what a gene is. There are millions of genes present in your body which code for a particular character. Say gene 1, say my hair type. Map of my hair type is 1 gene. Map of my height is 1 gene. Are you able to follow? There are many millions of genes inside me. Likewise, there are millions of genes inside you. I'll just explain to you. I'll just draw it and you'll be able to comprehend more. So this is a DNA, right? Then we have gene 1. Then here say we have gene 2. Okay, now gene 1, say it has a character, what? Height. This has a character eye color, which means this part of my DNA will decide what will be my height. Means this part of the map will decide what will be my height, and this part of the map will decide what will be my eye color. Are you able to follow? And I want you to understand what gene is basically. Then there is one more thing called as allele. There is one more thing called as allele. What is allele? Allele is a complementary form of a DNA. What's an allele? It's a complementary form of a DNA. Now you'll be like, sir, what do you mean by that? I'll tell you. Say, height can have 2 forms. Either it could be tall or it could be dwarf. Allele, है ना? Height can be tall or dwarf. So tall is one allele, dwarf is other allele. Are you able to understand? For a gene called as height, there are 2 alleles, that is tallness and dwarf. Are you able to understand? For a gene that is height, there can be 2 alleles, tall and dwarf. Okay, say eye color, gene for eye color, it could be either black or brown. These are two alleles, we can say. Able to understand? है ना? So we will study them. Just I am familiarizing you with the terminologies, because what happens is people are not clear with what is allele, what is gene, what is DNA. So it gets difficult for them to understand the entire concept. Okay, I guess you must be pretty much clear about what's a gene. Gene is a segment of a DNA. Gene is a segment of a DNA which codes for a particular character. Basically, it's a map for a particular character. Gene 2 is a map for another particular character. Okay. Now, we studied what's a gene. Sorry, what's a DNA? What's a gene? What's an allele? Okay. Now, people now talking about what is phenotype and genotype. What is phenotype and genotype? Yes? Yeah, phenotype is physical appearance. Phenotype is physical appearance. What is genotype? Code, genetic code. What does the gene say? Say gene ka, I told you this is a gene ka segment. This is a gene. This codes for curly hair. So this is physical appearance, right? My curly hair is physical appearance. You cannot see my genes. So but some gene has coded my curly hair. So that is genotype. My genotype has led to my curly hair. That is phenotype. Phenotype means physically how does it look? Brown eyes. Right, that's a phenotype. The gene coding for the brown eyes is a genotype. Okay, very good. Then one more thing, and you would have heard of monohybrid cross and you would have studied about monohybrid and dihybrid cross. Now what do I mean by monohybrid and dihybrid cross? Monohybrid cross is when I am studying only one character. Say if I am studying heredity and I am only looking at one character, say tallness. I am studying how tallness is transferred from one generation to another. So that means I am talking about monohybrid cross. I am doing a monohybrid cross. But if I am studying say height and eye color, then I am talking about two characters. So how these two characters are transferred from generation to generation. If I am studying that, that is called as a dihybrid cross. So in that case, that is a dihybrid cross. Okay people, very good. Now one more thing. We say chromosomes. How many chromosomes are present in the human being? Yes. Yes, there are 23 pairs and 46 chromosome. 23 pairs and 46 chromosome present in each individual. Okay, 23 pairs. So now what happens is, generally chromosomes are formed during cell division. Okay, generally what happens, nucleus mein, this is my cell, this is my nucleus, it is present as chromatin fiber, but it gets condensed into chromosome at the time of cell division. The chromatin fiber gets converted into chromosome. Okay, now see how many such pairs are present. We have 23 pairs, right? And I told you there are two alleles. So always what happens, there is a gene, say height, one allele will be present over here, other allele will be present over here on this. Okay, now any allele could be present over here. It could be either, this is my chromosome, so talking about height, I am going to study height. So these are my two chromosomes, chromosomal pair. So say this carries gene for height. So there are three combinations possible. This could have T, tallness, shortness, capital T and small t. People are able to follow what I am trying to tell you? है ना? So this chromosome can have what? So capital T represents tallness. Here what am I talking about? I am talking about a character height. It has two alleles, tall and short. Tall I am representing by capital T and short I am representing by small t. Okay, now at the time of cell division, chromosomes are formed. The chromosome must have, okay, alleles. Now there are three combinations possible. Either both could be tall or both could be small allele, or what's the third possibility, people? Yes, what's the third possibility? It could be tall and short. What do I call these two as? I will call them as what? Homologous pair. What is it? A homologous means same type. Both the alleles are same. Talking about this, it is, yes please. Heterologous. Yes, are you able to follow? है ना? Homologous pair and heterogeneous pair, sorry. Okay, now what happens is, say if both of them are tall, then what character will be expressed? A tallness. Thus offspring will be tall only. When both of them are short, it will be short only. But when one is tall, one is short, both of them could be expressed. But whatever gets expressed, we call it as dominant allele. What do we call it as? Dominant allele. So we have seen through experiments that whenever a tall and shortness is present, and a tall gets expressed. Whenever tall and short is present, what gets expressed? Tallness gets expressed. Okay, it could be anything. Anything can get expressed. Say there is a blue bottle and a yellow bottle. So in a progeny, anything which is getting expressed. So the baby of these two, if it is blue, I will say blue is dominant. Blue allele is dominant. If the baby of these two is yellow, I will say yellow is dominant. It's based on the outcome. I didn't know which one is dominant, which one is recessive. But from the outcome, I can make out that this is dominant or this is dominant. So through experiments, we have figured out that tallness is dominant. So what will be the genotype of this organism? It will be tall. Sorry, phenotype will be tall. This is phenotype, this is genotype. What is this? This is genotype. I guess I am making myself pretty clear. Okay, please go through it, rewind it and watch again. I guess this is very important for you to understand. Say a height has two alleles, tallness and shortness, and they must be present on the chromosomal pair. Okay, the alleles could be, one possibility is both of them are tall. Then the offspring, basically the genotype is TT, both of them are tall, genotype, then phenotype will be tall. If both the genotype is say small t, then the phenotype, physical appearance will be short. But if there is a hybrid, then what happens? The one which gets expressed is, we call it as a dominant trait or the dominant allele. Okay, chalo, very good. So this is what I wanted you to explain and understand. है ना? Then there is Mendels Law. You people had doubts regarding Mendels Law. He is called as father of genetics. Why? Because he did his experiment with what plant? People please mention in the comments. Mendel conducted his experiments with what plants and why? Yes, Mendel conducted his experiments with pea plant called as Pisum sativum. Why did he conduct his experiment with Pisum sativum? Because they were what? Can be grown very fast. They had many contrasting traits and they produced many offspring. So it was easier for Mendel to study them. Okay, please make a note of it. It's an important question. I'll just deal with the Mendel's law. Okay, through the experiment with Pisum sativum or the pea plant, Mendel gave certain laws. First one is law of dominance. Now in law of dominance, what did he say, Mendel? Mendel said, in case there is what? A pair of contrasting characters, say capital T and small t, the character which gets expressed is called as a dominant trait. In case of tall and dwarf, which one is the dominant trait? Tallness is a dominant trait. Out of pair of contrasting characters, the one which gets expressed is the dominant one. Contrasting characters means say black eye and blue eye. They are contrasting. Out of these contrasting, which one gets expressed is the contrast. If blue one gets expressed, it's a dominant trait. If black one gets expressed, it is a dominant trait. Either of them could be a dominant. How would I know which is dominant? By looking at the baby, by looking at the progeny. Then only I'll be able to understand which one is dominant or which one is recessive. I cannot figure it out beforehand. Okay, how did Mendel figure out which one is dominant or recessive? By looking at the progeny. He crossed two plants, their babies were born, baby plants were born, he looked at them. Okay, three of them are tall, one of them is short. That's how he figured out which one is dominant, which one is recessive. Okay, good. Second law. Second law was law of segregation. Now law of segregation mein what happened? Mendel said at the time of gamete formation, I told you right, we studied in the reproduction chapter, at the time of gamete formation, right, the alleles get separated. The alleles get separated. So a sperm will be carrying this or an egg will be carrying these things. Now when will these fuse? One set of allele will be carried by a sperm. Say these are sperms. There will be one female also. It could be either TT. Say let's keep a tall TT female. What will they do? They'll produce two gametes. Two gametes are produced. Now what happens? Either these two can fuse by fertilization, है ना? Or what? Capital T can. These two can fuse and form these things. Are you able to follow, people? No, I'll just explain. See, there will be what? 4 possibilities. The female was capital T, and this male was capital T and small t. What are the possibilities? Either it could be TT, small t, and capital T, small t. Are you able to understand? At the time of gamete formation, the alleles separate and they unite again at the time of fertilization. So the new baby can have any of the character. The new baby can be tall, pure tall, or a hybrid tall. People, I think I am able to make you understand. And a law of segregation. Segregation means the alleles get what? Separated at the time of gamete formation. Say this is a male, there is a female. है ना? Say female, we'll say short female. There's a tall male, pure tall male. When do I call it as a pure? Pure means both of them are same. Both the alleles are same. Both the alleles are, and pure short, both the alleles are same. What is this? This is a hybrid tall. Why? Because tall will get expressed in this. Okay, so this is hybrid tall. Right, so she will also form gametes. Now what are the possibilities that fertilization can take place? Yes. So we'll draw this Punnett square. We call it as Punnett square. So here it could be capital T, small t, capital T, small t, capital T, small t, capital T, small t. So all tall individuals. People, you need to understand. Okay, this will come in as a 2 marker. They will say that there is a male. Okay, we'll do it in a question format. Okay, I tell you there is a male. Okay, who has genotype. There is a male who has a genotype of, say, capital T and small t. Okay, capital T is tall, small t is dwarf, and tallness is dominant. I will say there is one female, okay, who has a genotype T and T. Question is, progeny, what will be their phenotype and what will be their genotype? This is the question. There's a male, okay, whose genotype is TT. There's a female whose genotype is capital T and capital T. Now I am saying capital T is dominant and small t is recessive. I have given you the information. Now I want you to know progeny mein what will happen. Progeny means their babies ka what will be their phenotype, physical appearance, and what will be their genotype, their genetic appearance, genetic code. Okay, so I'll solve this. Now how do I solve this? I know this male will make 2 gametes. I know this male will make 2 gametes. One will have capital T and another one will have small t. I know this female also will make 2 gametes. One capital T and other again capital T. So this sperm can fertilize this egg or this egg. Similarly, this sperm can fertilize this egg or this egg. Are you able to follow? So we'll apply the what is that called as, people? Probability wala concept, I guess, hai na? So yeah, let's try. Hai na? If you start doing it, we will get confused. So we will draw this square. I'll put capital T, capital, that is female, and I have one capital T and small t. This way I'll be able to arrange all the permutation and combination without missing anything. Hai na? This way I'll be able to take out all the possibilities. Hai na? So it could be either capital T, here also capital T. So people, please tell me what will be their phenotype of the children. Genotype, so I got, this is the genotype, okay, this is either children could be this, children could be this, children could be this, or children could be this. But what will be their physical appearance? All will be tall. All of them will be tall. But 2 of them are pure tall, whereas other 2 are hybrid tall. Right? They have shortness wala genes also present in them, which they can pass on to the next character, whereas these people cannot. They have all the tall genes only. I guess I have made myself pretty clear. We are done with the second law of Mendel. First is law of dominance, second is law of segregation. What does law of segregation say? The alleles, or basically the gene alleles get separated at the time of gamete formation and they get united at fertilization. Okay, that was my second Mendelian law. And the third one is law of independent assortment. What does this say? It says transfer of one character to the next generation is independent of transfer of other character. What do I mean by that? It means, say my baby, it has got curly hair. So it doesn't mean that the curly hair will be accompanied by brown eyes. Are you able to understand? They can have all the combinations possible. Means presence of one character curly hair doesn't ensure that whether black eyes or brown eyes will be present or not. They are all independent of each other. Okay, are you able to follow? Law of independent assortment says transfer of one character is independent of transfer of the other character. Okay, say black hair and brown hair, and we have tall, height and short. Now anything is possible. Okay, it doesn't mean कि black hair होगा तो we should have tall. No, black hair होगा तो tall भी हो सकता है, short भी हो सकता है. Brown hair है तो tall भी हो सकता है, short भी हो सकता है. कोई भी combination is possible. There is nothing fixed कि black hair होगा तो tall ही होगा. Are you able to understand? One character is independent of the other character. Are you able to understand? This is the whole thing about independent assortment. Okay, so transfer of one character is independent of transfer of other character. Okay, there are certain exceptions, we call them as linkages, है ना. For example, जो genes past में present होते हैं ना, they get transferred together. If say my two genes which are present close to each other, then more possibility they will appear together. Possibility है, but ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है. I have to understand. That's a different whole together, different concept. So for now, law of independent assortment means transfer of one character is independent of transfer of the other character. Okay, I guess I am pretty clear over this, है ना? Then I guess I am running out of time. I'll continue with the chapter and I'll discuss what is evolution also. After this there's evolution and a speciation, and then we'll discuss certain questions. Okay, chalo, I guess if you have any doubts, okay, just mention in the comments. I'll try to clear them. Okay, chalo. Stay focused, है ना? Give your more time, and we are putting in lots and lots of energy. You are giving your time to us, precious time to us. Trust me, you'll definitely get benefited from them. All these things which I am teaching over here, they are high probability questions. Directly it will come. What are the laws of what? Mendels Law. Define Mendels Law. Why did Mendel choose Pisum sativum? And the 2-mark Punnett question wala question will come directly. Okay, so please, these are all high what content wala sessions. Make note of it, whatever you are doing. And just don't listen to me. And I want you to note it down, whatever I'm teaching over here, or other teachers also, because trust me, it never stays. Okay, unless until you revise it more and more. It's like, you know, what, nailing a nail inside a wall. Once you hit it, second, try, twice, thrice, 4, 5 times, but it will get permanently what? Embedded inside your brain. Okay, you'll understand only. Then only you'll be able to retain it for a longer period of time, and you'll be able to write it in your exam. Okay, people, take care. Bye bye. Good night. Have a good day. Don't stress out. Stay focused. You know, keep up the work. I know you people are working really hard. Trust me, it will pay off. Okay, bye bye. Take care.